Hey everybody, welcome to the second review of Cody Latosh Presents. As you could probably tell, I am Cody Latosh. My first review was the Rolling Stones' Let It Bleed album. Very good album. I thought it was very good. This video review is going to be another Rolling Stones, but it's not going to be an album. It's going to be a single, thing which I think is kind of cool because maybe a lot of people haven't heard of this, or of course people have heard of the Rolling Stones. But this single is from the album Some Girls, and it is, of course, Miss You. Let me take that out of the thing so then you guys can see it more. There you go. And then here's back. And as you can tell, it is pink vinyl. Put that in later. Okay. And as you know, I like to give you guys a little bit of a background on this. The single for that is Miss You, of course, as you can tell by the front. And on the B side, it was Faraway Eyes. In the US, it was released on May 10th, 1978, which is a year after my brother was born, so I thought that was kind of cool. And in the UK, it came out on May 26th. 1978. So it came into the US first. I thought that was a little bit weird considering that they're a UK band. At that time, the biggest selling album was, I believe, Carole King's Tapestry album. Now, that is speculated because on nobody really knows how much that album sold, so there's different albums that are on the biggest selling album. Like I believe it was Sound of Music, and in 1973, and then it went to the Sound of Music in 75, 76, and then it went back to the Tapestry album in 77, 78, around that time. I'm not sure, because there's not any documentation of it. So, let's get to the first album. Let's get to the first track of this thing. Miss You, of course. It was the first song on the Some Girls album, which, as you guys could tell, I believe that personally that the first song of an album sets the tone for the whole record. If it's a good song, then it's going to be a good record. If it's a bad song, then it's going to be a bad record. Not all the time, but in some cases, unless it's a greatest hits album, because then it's going to be all good, it's going to set the tone. It was the Miss You song was a very slow, but it was still danceable. It was the kind of music where it's not slow enough to be a slow dance, but not a dance track where it could be fully like a fast-paced dance, even though it was made into a mix album later on. And you could definitely tell it was in the 70s because of the tone of it. And it was just, it felt like a disco song right off the bat, like that. But as you know, it's the 70s disco era. Disco's getting to the point where it has a few years left, and then Michael Jackson is going to be taking over. Right around this time, actually, Michael Jackson came out with Off the Wall. So then he's sort of taking over right about now in music anyway. So the song is, at least in my opinion, 90% narrative, which is by far the most narrative song that I've ever heard. I like narrative songs because it's a story line, but that's just my opinion. It is still danceable to this day. Like here, I'm talking about this one, not the danceable version. It's still danceable because it's so slow, but yet it's still a beat. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. Since this is a single, the singles are usually a lot longer than the original song on the album. I believe that the Miss You single is about just over 8 minutes long, and on the record on Some Girls, it's only almost 5 minutes long. So it's pretty long. And on the single, they have a lot of more. They have a lot more musicians in there. They have a lot more beat to. So I've read on Rolling Stone magazine. I've read a lot about this, and I thought this is funny when I read this in Rolling Stone magazine that Mick Jagger insisted that this song was not intended to be a disco song, but Keith Richards said "Miss You" was a damn good song, a disco song. So it wasn't. Mick Jagger says it wasn't intended, but clearly it sounds like a disco song. Now on to the Faraway Eyes. As you could tell, if you have listened to this song, you could most likely right off the bat say it's a country song. It has a somewhat southern feel to it, like a Georgia sort of thing. Not saying that it is I'm not saying that the song was not intended to be like that, but it just felt like that. Sadly, this The Faraway Eyes is not my favorite song of the Rolling Stones. It's not my favorite because of the lyrics. The lyrics don't really match up with the tone of the whole song. The tone I absolutely love, but the lyrics, they're subpar for me. They're not great, they're not bad, they're directly right in the middle. The tone, the whole beat of the thing, I think it's like a roller coaster, which I like because that's the way of a song is supposed to go. It goes up and down. So that's the good part about this. If I had to give this this single a grade out of 5, I would probably give it a 4, maybe 3.9. And I would highly suggest if you find this record, buy it, because it is a very cool record. It is I don't know how rare it is, but I think it's very cool, especially to a Rolling Stones fan like myself. And surprisingly, this is one of my first Rolling Stones records. I got a few more, but it's one of my first. So thanks for watching my video. Make sure if you haven't watched my Rolling Stones Let It Bleed review, please go watch that. Please also comment, like, and subscribe. If you guys have any suggestions on what I could do for the next video, comment down below. I'd love to hear from that. And I would like to thank the vinyl community on Facebook and YouTube. And I would also like to thank a lot of people that... Oh, Black and Red. I would like to thank them because they're where I get a lot of my albums from. So... And one of my favorite quotes from this whole record thing is that what's on the record counts. Miss you. I miss records. I absolutely miss records. I'm born in the 90s, early 90s. So I still have the hint of records in me, but I miss the records. I miss the smell of it. I miss everything about it. So then I really think that this album is a perfect match for how I feel, because you can't, if you're born in the 95 upwards to 2000s, you don't know what we're talking about. If you're born in 94 downwards, you know what you're talking about. But thanks for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe to my videos, favorite it, share them. Thanks. Bye.